Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. So, in today's video, we will be learning how to sew this elegant dress. Of course, the pattern has already been drafted in the previous video, so do check that one out if you've not watched it. But if you have, kindly do check this one out as well. So, we'll be learning how to sew the whole process, beading everything together. Do not forget to subscribe. So we are working around our shape. This is the final part of this particular video. And I must say, I've really enjoyed the sewing marathon. I hope to do that some other time. It was a little bit quite draining, but just for the love of my subscribers, I just want to say thank you for the support you've been giving me all these years. So I just wanted to do this so that you don't know for sure. I do appreciate and see all your comments and your DMs on my WhatsApp. I really do appreciate them. So here I am pinning my zip allowance together and then I'm aligning them with that of my front pattern. But you realize that with our front, we do work around no that. We do not work around any that, but with our back, we do work around some that. So once there is that in the back and there is no that in the front, most of the times the skirt looks bigger for the front than that of the back, which is fairly normal. Do not get worried about it. Just pin them as you can see me doing here. So the zipper ones is 1 inch. That is what you see me pinning out like so. Okay, so once you pin up your zip allowance, you just make sure that you're using your 1 inch as a pin through, okay, as a guide to pin it all together. So once that is done for the zip allowance, you move to your side seams, which are around your hip section and stuff like that. You make sure that you smear them and then you pin them as you're seeing me doing here. Okay, just smear them and then make sure that they are aligning as they are expected. So you align here. You take advantage, you take these points into consideration, your bust, your waist, your hip, and then around your knee, and then the length of your dress. Okay, those places are super very important because these are going to be your guide to your shape. So here we have our shoulder to waist being 16. So with that, we will take advantage of that. Our shoulder to our hip is giving us 23. So with that, we would position our tape measure and mark that one out as well. And then our shoulder to our knee, which we had around 36 or 21 from our waist to the knee, you mark that one out as well. So we are working around the hip of 40. That means you're getting 10 inch. If this is being divided into four, we repeat that on both sides as it can be seen here. We reduce 2 inches from that and then it gives us 8 on both sides that you can see me doing here. So we are working around a bust of 36. With 36, we'll be marking our 9 inch at where I expect it to be, and the waist being 30, we will be getting our 7.5, 7.5 like so. So once that is done, you start joining them up. If you have your curves there to help you with the joining, kindly do grab them to make it easier for you. But if you can do that, do away without your curves, that will be also fine. You do that as well. But if you have the curves, it would be a plus. So once that is done, you take your pins from wherever they were positioned, move them to the vintage pointers, which were your hip, your around your knee, your waist, and things like that. Make sure that they are falling at that end. And then you move to your machine, and then you use your machine to sew them up to tighten them as where they are supposed to be sewn. Okay, these prints or these chalks gives you a guide of where you have to sew. The following excess will be cut out, which is fine. Do not worry about that. It is better you sew to get excess than to sew and not get no excess and not be able to wear them. It will be catastrophic. So try your best to make sure that you give quite a room for allowances so that you can have some excess if the need comes for you to, open them up. You never know. So once that is done, you take all your pins out because you've already used your machine to stabilize it, and then you move on to your zip installation. So once your zip installation reaches, you make sure that you get your zip. This is the type of zipper I'm using. Okay. And then if you have the privilege to use a zip foot, that would be a plus. So once that is done, you mark your 1 inch allowance for your zip, and then you use your machine to sew it from the base to from your waist to your the zip of your the length of your zip. I think the difference should be maybe if it's 10 is fine. But if the person has, if you're quite bulky, you can make it around like 11 or 12. That would also be fine. But I think if it's from your waist to, your zip length, if it's from your waist coming down and it's more than 10, and I think I think it's fine. It's okay. It's a great measurement. So here I'm installing the zip. And please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, do not forget to subscribe. We have amazing videos like this and more on this channel. And as usual, I'm not stopping uploading. I'm going to be uploading like you can see me doing in this marathon. We're going to be continuing up with our normal posting schedules, which will be twice a week or once a week. Okay, so do not forget to check that videos out as well. So once that is done, you also use your machine to seal beneath your zipper. Okay, but from the skirt, I mean from the dress length, from your knee coming up, if it falls between like 20 inches to where you stop the sew, it would be great. Okay, so you can mark around like 20 inches, which would be great. But here you have to align them, and then if it still ends at around like 20 inches, that would be great. As you can see me doing here, I double check the pound net, and I use a bit of some bit of fabric. I should have used the same fabric, to seal it up, but forgive me. I think I used the nearest one around. I will be changing it in the course of time. So here we're going to be working around the draping. Okay, remember the draping in the video? Draping are best done when they are in bias. This particular style, it was actually done in bias. Okay, so I made sure that I made it in the bias form. That is why you can see it's becoming a little bit slanted. I do appreciate draping. It makes it easier when they are in bias. Okay, so kindly take a look at what I'm doing here. I'm making these pleats. Here I had a fabric, so I was just going with the flow to achieve what I wanted to achieve. Okay, so you can also do that. If you have like half or quarter yard, you can use that to achieve this draping that is being done in front of it. Okay, so once that is done, you make some pleats from it. It should be in that bias form. Shouldn't be so straighty, and it shouldn't be so like, you just have to slant it. Okay, so once they are slanted, it would give this elegant look. So I would definitely recommend that you make it in a slanted form. So this is what we are achieving at the end of the day. This is how it is looking. Okay, so once you make it and then it looks something like this, you can also, you have to pin them to stabilize them before you hand stitch them to make sure they are fitting as where they are expected to fit. So here I wasn't liking how the front really looked. So I was changing how it looked to make sure that it looked smaller. Okay, so that I could pin them down to stabilize it. Please, if this is your first time watching my video, do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload any video, you will be alerted. So here I was cutting off the excess. I just didn't like those look there. So once that was done, I came back to make sure I readjusted it to give more room for a bit of some pleats. So this is how it looked after they were draped and like sewn together. I will be hand sewing it to make sure that. So if you also want it to drop like so. I wanted some to drop as it can be seen here. Some were dropping and some were moving on like that. So I just wanted to leave that room there so that it could drop and then come up and stuff like that. So if that is done, you'd also have to hand stitch them your pleats in place so that they can firmly stand at where they are expected to stand and drape at where they are expected to drape. So once that is pretty ready, okay, you can also for sure make sure that you use your fishing wire. Fishing wire will be great for this particular type of sews. Okay, when you use a fishing wire, use make sure you're using around like maybe 0.202, 0.2 or maybe 0.25, 0.25. Okay, those ones are also very cool. So here I was just draping them and making sure that they are reinforced. Okay, this is a three-part series video. The first two videos has been uploaded. If you've not seen them, please check them out. It's on the channel, but I'll do where to also include it in the description. But if they are not in the description, kindly do check it out on the channel. Okay, I would really love that. So this is a final part of the three parts video. And here I was just making sure that I'm reinforcing the pleats and then reinforcing the whole beginning of the drapes, okay, as they expected to be or they expected to be seen. So after this whole thing was done, we also did some details around that as well. So I just wanted to have the ability to open it up and close it when I wanted to close it and stuff like that. So that is the reason why I did not hem or join those two sections. So after the whole joining together and stitching together and all the deeding, this is how this particular outfit looked. Okay, thank you very much for keeping up with this great marathon, and I hope you will be able to create such a beautiful masterpiece for yourself. And please, this is how it looked if it's together, and this is how it looked if it is being spread out. Okay, so you can just make it as versatile as you want it to be. And this is the back of our dress. This is how it looked at the back of the dress. So after that, this is the back. Let me give you a little bit of a back view again. This is how the whole project looked like. Do not forget to turn on your notification bell so that you will be alerted anytime I upload a new video. But before that, you need to subscribe at first. Thank you very much for staying till this section of the video. I really do appreciate it.